Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Neely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Neely, and the Daily Dish.
Ta-da! Wise Women's Wednesday. Isn't that your favorite time? I think it's pretty much my favorite show. So glad to have you all here. So good to see you. Catherine's saying hello to Lincoln. He's asleep right now. Marianne, Yvonne, Vanessa. So good to see you all. And of course, Jenny and Amber are there. Thankfully, I'm so glad. Denise, I'm so glad you're here. Joanne is in the house. She's having some wise wisdom today. We're going to talk about this. It's really getting really into the weeds with some philosophy. I think it's really fun. Marguerite, I'm glad to see you. Jackie and Susan, yay. All my ladies are in the house. Same with Doris. Anyway, I'm having a cup of tea. I'm having tea time just a little bit early. I've had probably 2 hours of sleep, maybe. Boy, having a baby. Emily, good to see you. Lucy and Jane in the house, yay. Anyway, I'll tell you what, having a 8-week-old puppy is like having a baby again. The only difference is, wow, they just different. Linda, good for you. I'm so proud of you. Carla, Jocelyn, Priscilla, good to see you all. Yes, so this little puppy kept me up, woke up at 1:30. We finally got him into the kennel, woke up at 1:30, and he was just like crying like crazy. And of course he was. Hi, Angie. Good to see you. Of course he was. He's missing his mama and his siblings. I felt bad. Hi, Carol. Good to see you. Felt bad. But on the other hand, this is his new home. This is what happens with puppies. They don't stay with their homes, do they? It's time to go. He's 8 weeks old. So, it's time. This is when puppies are given away. Anyway, big congratulations to Linda on the 17-pound weight loss. That's so great. Hi, Margaret. Good to see you. Anyway, so if I seem a little dingy, I am. I am a little dingy. I'm tired, but I'm telling you what, this show is really, it's going to help to fill in the missing gaps, the little gaps that you might have. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. So anyway, as far as all this crate training and everything like that, I'm sure we'll get it down. Right now, he's in his crate and he is sleeping. And I have a white noise maker we have in our bedroom. Well, it's out with him now, and I think he's enjoying that. I also ordered a little puppy thing that has a heartbeat in it from Amazon. Oh my gosh. Mark is just dying at how much money I'm spending on all this stuff. But you know what? This is my baby. What do you do? Jennifer, good to see you. Good to see you. So our quote of the week, of course, is fabulous. When your clarity meets your conviction and you apply action to the equation, the world transforms before your eyes. Isn't that so good? Isn't that so good? Isn't that so good? I love that so much. Lisa Nichols is just brilliant in my eyes. She has taken her circumstances, which weren't in her favor, and completely changed her entire life. If you don't know her story, you need to learn it. It's just so good. Anyway, so that's all that I have for you on the quote of the week. And remember, we changed those quotes on Saturdays, and Mondays we changed the supplement of the week. So you have an opportunity always to get our supplement of the week, which this week I love. This is one of my favorites, Get Lean CLA. The reason I like it so much is because the research shows that it's very effective taken for deep visceral belly fat and thighs and belly fat. Yes, please. You can check out all the research. People will say, well, what research is this? It's so easy to do this yourself. I want to empower you to do your own research. Go to PubMed.com and simply they have a little search bar and just put CLA, all in caps, plus belly fat or thighs even, and you'll see all the studies yourself. It's fabulous. We have things in the store, by the way, that I love, and also these little reminders, and this is your little cup, right? It's your mindful mug. You can find out all about the mindful mug and how to get a free one at savingdinner.com/mug. And see, I told you I was dingy. I forgot to tell you about this. I told you about all that. But with this supplement of the week, guess what else you're going to get? You are also going to get two things. One, you're going to get the body clutter addendum. That's the best way I can name it. The old body clutter was written in 2015. Now, how many years ago is that, right? That's 16 years ago. And the whole thing has changed so much. Everything's changed as far as nutrition information. And in this little, ebook that I've written, it'll go through and tell you why this is no longer on the money nutrition information. It's pretty sad, but you'll see it all there and what I recommend instead, which pretty much is the hot milk sprint. Anyway, check that out, savingdinner.com/show. You will also get a copy of our food journal to copy off as much as you want. And I love them because food journals help us to keep the needle moving in our lives because it keeps us accountable. When we know where our time goes, when we know the amount of food that we're eating and what we're eating, and we can see on black and white, we can be really analytical and just kind of change things up so that they fit our goals. We get frustrated. We get out of alignment. We get crazy time when we recognize and start to realize that what we want isn't what we're doing. Because even though we're not there, we still need to act as if, because that's what gets us to there. I've told you how many times I am an athlete. I am an athlete. That's my thing right now. I'm an athlete, even though I haven't worked out in days since, we've been gone. We did a little bit of working out and lots of walking up and down the beach. But there's still, I haven't worked out. And then we went and got our little pups. And then today, I'm just, I'm looking forward to a shower. It's been that kind of a day, and having a little time alone down here has just been really fun. It's been all encompassing. But when we are in alignment, when our actions are in alignment with what our goals are, we're going to get there. Duh, right? And you're going, duh, Leanne. Well, of course. But yeah, it's got to connect. It's really, really, really critical. That's one of the reasons why I love our quote decks so much. And there's a bunch of them in here that I'm going through and reading. The past is a great teacher, but a horrible landlord. Don't live there. Boom. Here, do you like that one? We have one life to live, just one. Why aren't we running like we are on fire toward our wildest dreams? Did that one do it for you? Was that the cosmic 2x4? Maybe this one will be. You don't have what you want because you're not committed to it. Another one, just one more. Your life isn't yours if you constantly care about what other people think. Just stop it right now. And I'll show you the one that I've got right now on my stand, which is this. Be careful of the words you speak. They become the house you live in. And I have that right here on this little stand. And see, this is how I influence my brain every single day. It's sitting there looking at me as I'm reading, as I'm writing, as I'm working on whatever, and I glance over, I see it. It can, even though I'm not maybe even reading it consciously, subconsciously it's doing its work. That's called subliminal environment there, y'all. So check that out. I love that. It's everything. Go find out more about how to get one of these fabulous decks. You can find it at savingdinner.com/quote. And of course, I told you about, you already know this, we have Full Bloom. There's all the details below, savingdinner.com/bloom. Now, Full Bloom is our yearly event. We did 2 last year. We might do 2 this year. And guess what? It is a full day of really getting into the weeds about what it is that you want in your life, creating that vibrant life you want. This year's theme is I Am Enough. Find out about it, get going on this. Get your order in and order your ticket. It's $47 for the day. Plus you get the replay. You get to keep it for as long as you want. You're going to get a swag bag in the mail. You're going to also get another swag bag that's digital to support that vibrant life you want. It's amazing. savingdinner.com/bloom. Now, who's excited about the pop-up boutique? Pop-up boutique is open, and wait till you see it. You guys are going to, well, I keep saying you're going to pee your pants. That's what we keep saying, because you are. It's just like so incredible. savingdinner.com/ I can't even talk, /pop, P-O-P. That's it. Go to savingdinner.com /pop, especially if you're going to Full Bloom. You're going to want your gear. We're all getting ours. And Sarah's wearing her bikini, of course. I'll be sitting by myself in my house, but I'm doing it. Good. And we're going to see a full picture because this is what you want. So in the pop-up boutique, this is what we have. We've got clothing. We've got a special water bottle. I shouldn't tell you about all this, but you'll see. Okay, I'm not going to say anything more. There might be, I don't know, a cup involved or something. But I would, if I were you, I'd go check it out, because all of the gear there is amazing. And we're buying all of it. We're just like so excited. We're sparkling over it. savingdinner.com /pop. So go get it checked out. And today we're going to be going into the weeds a little bit about, I like this, how the process of wisdom is created from belief, of course, and how ancient philosophers really, I mean, you know, if you've ever read any of the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, if you've read any of that stuff, these guys were deep thinkers. They went into the weeds, and they debated, and Socrates, of course, was the forerunner to the Stoics of that time. And we get the Socratic method from these guys of asking a lot of questions, and we do it in our own goofy way, but it's really is, when we ask a lot of whys, we can get to the place of understanding what the real why is. Sarah's looking at the page right now. She's ordering all the things. I know, right, Sarah? Can you believe that black t-shirt? Susan's in the house too. Screaming, the boutique is beyond. Isn't it so much fun? Teresa's here. Good. I'm glad to see you, Teresa. So we got to get, if we are going to have this wisdom, if we're going to have this, because wisdom is what's going to be the rudder in our life. It's going to create the life that we want, because we're not going to be living life off of reaction. We're going to be living life according to reflection. And there's a big difference. And this is, what the philosophers did. They start with asking themselves questions. They start reflecting on their life. Now, I'm not saying to you, get in there and start tearing yourself apart and say, well, you did this, you were such a crappy mother, you were such a horrible partner, and you deserve to get, and not on any of that. That's not reflection. That's just put down. That's just nonsense. But when we get to the place of understanding that we can reflect on our lives and look and say, is this what I want? I mean, that's a basic question, right? Is this what I want? Well, remember, in Socrates, back to Socrates, what did he say? The unexamined life is not worth living. And that's what he's talking about. Because if we don't examine, then we don't have a time to correct. And if we don't have a time to correct, then guess what happens? Guess what happens if we don't have a time to correct? Then we just get what we get. And that's why shooting from the hip doesn't work. That's why not planning things out doesn't work. That's why not having a grip on what your time is about doesn't work. All of these things just add up and just put you in a place of just like frustration and just like, why is this happening in my life? Well, we got to start at the very beginning. So, and we also have to be looking that beliefs are decision makers for us. They really are. They become decision makers once we become schooled, though, because that's what always changes our mind. That's the chooser, right? That's how we make those choices, how we make those decisions is by our education. But we got to look at, what is that education? Does that mean that you got to have a PhD in order to move forward, or that you're going to just take any willy-nilly crazy, conspiracy theory thing that you read on the internet, or somebody passes to you in an email or something? I mean, what qualifies as schooling? Well, you're the one who has to answer that. And that's where the wisdom comes. Always, follow the source, follow the money, and also follow the source. This is follow the source. Oh my God, Sarah, you're cracking me up. So I want you to get this too. I loved this. Is that philosophy means the love of wisdom. Isn't that great? So we're all really, if we are truly chasing wisdom, then we are all lovers of philosophy, aren't we? That's right. That's because that's what it means. We want to be we want to love wisdom. So therefore, we are all philosophers. So there you go. Little Socrates for you. How's that? Oh my goodness. So where do we go from this? What do we do with all of this? Well, I have a couple of ideas, some steps that I think we need to take so that we can go beyond just the processing of wisdom to actually become wise, because it's created from educated beliefs, which then become our decisions in our lives. That's what it is. So let's start with number one is no more FOMO. Instead, we want font. You know what font is? I made this up, even on 2 hours of sleep. Font is fear of not thinking. We have to stop with the not thinking. We have to think about our thinking and be okay with being a little reflective. That doesn't mean that we go to the place of not making decisions, because remember what I said long time ago? When you don't make a decision, you're still making a decision on default, and that still counts. You can't wiggle out of making a decision, even though a lot of people just don't make a decision. They say, well, it was beyond my control. Baloney. You decided not to step up. Okay, that's number one. So when we create space in our lives to reflect, we can stop the reaction and start the reflection instead. And that means everything. And then we can be thoughtful, thoroughly thoughtful about what our decisions are. And we can feel really good about them. And I'm going to talk about this too in how this really works for weight loss and fitness goals, because it's everything. I mean, it seriously is everything. Number two is quality over quantity. Now, I want you to notice how this whole thing works with a few reflections and adjustments. Like, let's do this with food. You've got real quality food versus just grazing endlessly, a bunch of crap and fast food and snacks and all of that. At the end of the day, 10,000 calories down, no nutrition, and you're still hungry, right? You're still hungry, right? So what do we want to do? If we notice, and I'm going to tell you right now, Sarah knows this. Sarah knows this because she's gotten such great results. Linda knows this. Noreen knows this. There's a whole bunch of you out there. Jocelyn knows this. You know that you eat less when you're eating quality food. You know why? Because here's the thing. You stop and you reflect. Am I hungry? That reflection tells you, are you going to eat or not? Not just out of habit, not just shoveling food in your mouth because it's fun and entertainment, but instead it's in accordance to what your body is telling you to do. That's reflection. And when we do that, we adjust our food intake. And because we also, not only are we going to eat when we're hungry, we're going to stop when we're satisfied, not full. Because full comes, that real after satisfaction, you get a little bit fuller, because that's just how your body works. So if we stop at satisfied, we will be filled up and just fine in 10 minutes. That's how your body works. Isn't that cool to know? And then that way we avoid Thanksgiving full, because if we stop when we're full and then 10 minutes later we feel we're in agony, that's Thanksgiving full. We don't need to do that anymore, because we're reflecting on all of this. We've got the quality over the quantity, and we are getting things done. We're moving the needle all kinds of ways because we're using our heads. We have our own philosophy now. This is how we do it. What a difference. And number three is the art of nuance. Now, hang with me on this one. We oftentimes have this all or nothing attitude. Well, if I don't stick with it 100%, I'm just going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We do that a lot. How many of you, pinkies up, there's my girl Jocelyn, pinkies up, have you been the woman who has ever just said, that's it? I messed up. I ate the Snickers bars. I did the drive-through or something and just throw the whole thing out. Next time I'll try harder because I didn't do it perfectly. Well, if we understand that at any time we can jump in, at any time we can make a decision to say, that wasn't the right idea, that wasn't the good thing to do, we're accountable to it, we're writing about it in our journal, we're getting into the weeds about it, we're understanding the nuance of what it was that led us there, questioning ourselves, Socratic method, of why the heck we went there in the first place when we're trying to change this up. And if you say, well, it was an old habit, or I was hungry, or gosh, it just smelled good, or whatever, fine. But at least get into it and figure that part out, because as you figure that part out, the rest starts to happen as well. So we get to do that. And you know, this all or nothing, what is all or nothing? All or nothing is perfectionism. Full stop. It's perfectionism. And where is perfect? It is not on this side of glory. It is not. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to do that to yourself and go through this whole motion of, well, I'm going to just, you know, I'll start Monday or I'll try again or whatever. It's, you know, it's now. We're stop with the Mondays. Stop when the Oreos are gone, when the holidays are over. We start now. We start now because our lives are today. Right? We don't say, I'm putting my life on pause and then I'm going to jump in. Then I'll jump in. You know, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. So there is, unfortunately, with food, there's no gray. Your body's either going to say, yay, rejoice. Thank you for the information that you gave me because now I can optimally operate. Or it's going to say, hold the phone. I feel like crap. You want to see somebody? I have to show you. Okay, so I will get back to this, I promise you, but look at my puppy. Hello, Lincoln. Look, guys. This is Mr. Lincoln. Look. Okay, I see you. I see you, you sweet boy. Oh, he just woke up. Okay, yes, my ears are delicious. There they are. Can you see his pretty blue eyes? Okay, I know. Look at those pretty blue eyes. There he is. Okay, he's got to go. Bye-bye. Go potty. Or you did?
I took him out first thing and didn't quite make it to the bed.
Oh. Oh, anyway. Ha. Isn't he so cute? I know. He's 13 pounds of, you know, he's going to be 65 pounds. All right. Want me to get back into it, or can we just ooh and ah about my puppy? He's so cute. I've sworn off sugar, but he's so cute. He is, Sarah. He's absolutely adorable. He's smart and he knows to go outside, but he's still not quite making it sometimes. So that's cool. I mean, we've only had him here like 24 hours. So anyway, yeah, that's Mark's birthday present, whether he likes it or not. But when okay, let's get back to this whole food thing. Food is black and white. However, most of life is not. There's lots of gray there, and there's nuance there. And we need to look for the nuance. We have to look for, well, you know, there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We have to look for things that are a little bit different. So we need to look at this and I think this is really important, that there is no there is no gray when it comes to food, because our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God has a blueprint for all of us, right? And he says, this is going to feed you right down to your teensy tiny mitochondria that I designed just for you and for all of your cells. And this is going to cause inflammation. It's going to cause you pain in the long run. It's going to give you all kinds of garbage, because food is information and tells your body what to do with it. Simple. I wish it was the answer to all of life's woes, but it unfortunately is not. Anyway, that's God's blueprint for us, and that's perfect. That's perfect because it came from him. And I love that, because that's going to help us. So we need to remember that these things that we have, these little mouthpieces that we have, are for speaking the truth in love and for eating food that's going to fuel a vibrant body, period. Otherwise, if we're gossiping and being horrible and saying mean things about folks and eating all kinds of crap, then what's going to be up here? It's going to be all out of whack. I want you to see this because there's a definite connection here. When your mouth speaks beautiful words and is uplifting and encouraging to others, and you're eating the right food, you're thinking the right stuff. If you're eating a bunch of crap and speaking and spewing, up here, it's just a black hole and negative. So the other thing, and this is the nuance part, when we are in the place of relationship, it isn't always black and white. There's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of give. There's a lot of take. There's a lot of things that we, as women with these beautiful selves, need to look at and need to honor. And that is being understanding, listening, truly listening, not just hearing and putting it off, but really listening, empathizing, repeating back, reflecting back to the person that we care about. And even when, God forbid, it's a different viewpoint. That doesn't mean that we need to suck up and say, oh, I'm just going to take in whatever you say because I don't have an opinion. It means that I'm going to give you the time of day because I love you and I care about you. And I'm able to do this without being, a complete jerk about it. Think about that. This is a higher level of living, and it's difficult. I wish I could give this lesson to all the cable news talking heads. They all need it because they're all jerks. No love there. Just I'm right and you're wrong. And that doesn't work. That doesn't promote love and harmony. Not at all. So great. The other thing I would just want to say to you is that this sharpens, clarifies, and allows for grace. That's what this does when we understand all of this. And grace, we know, is unmerited mercy, and it's also wisdom, and it's all wrapped in together. This is how it operates from this place of this gentle, kind, beautiful self that you own. It's your higher self, because when you look at when you ever do something and you're just going, I shouldn't have done that. You start kicking yourself around. Your higher self isn't doing that. Your higher self is saying, come over here, Leanne. Come here. You're worth more than that. That's what your higher self says. Your higher self doesn't beat you up. Your higher self says, you are worth so much more than a fast food hamburger. You are filet mignon, honey. Paul Newman was once asked, did you have a hard time, not cheating on your wife? Joanne Woodward was his wife. And he said, why would I eat a hamburger when I've got filet mignon at home? That's a man who loved his wife. And that's the whole thing. We don't do hamburgers. We're filet mignon, folks. Got it? Number 4 is humble pie. And let me just say, we all need a slice of that humble pie. We all need to have a slice of that one pie. That's the only pie that I advocate for, by the way. Bertrand Russell said that the whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and the wise are flipped out. And this is the truth. When cockiness is so off-putting and so, I don't like it. When you have people coming at you, and I know you do, we all do, and we see it on Facebook on repeat. We see these folks who are just so sure of themselves. They are law experts, they are medical experts, they are pandemic experts, they are nutrition experts. Wait, you name it. Not a single training, but they read somewhere. And that's that kind of thing that we're looking at. That is not humble. That isn't humble. That is saying that I know it all, and that's it. Know-it-alls don't get far. Those who eat from the table of humble pie do, because they're open to learning from others. Number 5 is there is a balance. We need ethics and pragmatism, because that's what equals wisdom, right? This is how we act with purpose. Act with purpose, because the ultimate alignment assignment is those two things together, and when we're in sync with our morals and apply them practically to help one another, wisdom reigns supreme. It does. We get to do things on a practical level that takes our morals with them, which shows us that what are we to do? What is our purpose? To help others. And suddenly, magically, and absolute uniquely yours is this. You get to figure out what your purpose is. Divinely inspired. Divinely inspired. So remember this, that beliefs become wisdom. And when we understand these philosophical points that I just went over, all 5 of those, when we understand those, we're living them. We can't help it because that's what wisdom is. Remember what our friend Lisa says. When your clarity meets your conviction, you apply action to the equation and the world transforms before your eyes. That is wisdom right there in the making. Wisdom has action attached to it. It's not some philosopher with a long beard sitting on top of a mountain in a lotus position saying, oh, it's not. Wisdom comes in the form of action toward others, a great generosity of heart, and also understanding the difference between white, gray and black and white. Because there's shades of all of that. There is nuance in this whole entire world. Now, again, little caveat when I say that when we have food rules, for example, like never and always, and you know about those when we were talking about our food addiction webinar, right? That's a whole different situation. That's a different situation. It's dealing with something very specific. But in this place of nuance is how we live our lives with others. That's where the nuance is. Food's just food. We just need the food. Our bodies need the information. And that's how we leverage all of that. So as we put all of this together, I just want you to just take a look at this and to think about these things. And if you are a writer-downer of things, these 5 philosophical points really of beliefs and wisdom, to me, are just really set in my heart and really have been super helpful. So I hope that was helpful for you today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did and you thought it had any kind of merit whatsoever, be my friend. Go ahead and share. I would appreciate it. We have a lot of people, new people coming into our world, and we really super appreciate the fact that you are sharing. Sharing's caring. I will see you tomorrow for Thirsty Thursday. Be well. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.